Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another speed build. We are in Oasis Springs today, taking a little break from our Magnolia Promenade redo or renovation, and I decided I wanted to build a home for a gamer in Oasis Springs. It's actually one of my favorite places to build, and I haven't built here in a really long time. I just think the surroundings are so nice. It's very different than what I'm used to. I don't live in the desert, but I really think it's beautiful, and if I ever had a chance to take a vacation in Arizona or somewhere else with a lot of desert surroundings and cacti, I would be very, very happy. So I wanted to channel that a little bit. And I also wanted to use the new Comfy Gamer kit because I just recently purchased that one along with a few others. And I wanted to kind of dive into that. Also wanted to use this window from high school years. It's the one you can climb in and out of. Obviously in this build, the only one you could use would be in the actual gamer's room, but I'm pretty sure that there's no access to it in that room either. So if you did want to move some furniture around in that room or make it a different kind of room, like a bedroom, you totally could and have a teen sneak out of there. But that is not the purpose of these windows in this build because it is for a gamer who just got out of university. She has a friend who was also in the arts and he needed a place to stay as well, so she figured she could always use the help paying for her bills here and just to have a little bit of company because being a gamer, she mostly just deals with online relationships and maybe she wanted a friend in real life as well to relate to her struggles and to just keep her company. So we have a tiny little kitchen over here. I did move things around quite a bit because I really wanted to use this lovely bay window right in the front, and it was kind of cutting in to the countertop, so I rose it up a little bit. Then I threw in this table from Cozy Kitchen with the matching chairs, although I did use the green tone because I really enjoyed that. I figured we could go with a color scheme that slightly matches. And then for just above this window, I sized up these little shelves from Cozy Kitchen with the tool mod and just kind of pieced them together. That's like a little decorative shelf just above that window. I also pulled out this remarkably well matched little hutch from Horse Ranch because I thought it looked nice in that corner. Maybe that's where they hang up their jackets and such. And then just trying to figure out the living room layout, which does change quite a bit. So don't get used to this for too long. I also pulled out the new couch from the Don Lothario kit, the Casanova Cave kit, but I don't believe I end up keeping that one because I wanted to go for more of a colorful feel. And I did move the dining room into here for a little bit just to see if there was something else I wanted to do with the kitchen. I did add a tiny little coffee bar and extra prep space over in the corner, but I ended up moving that dining table back into the kitchen very shortly. There was plenty of room. I was a little nervous there wouldn't be, so I moved it to the living room for a little bit. Now we're going to throw in our comfy gamer furniture. I just wanted to make sure that everything fit nicely and I could get everything in here. So pulled out the desk and the little cube shelf, the monitor and the matching tower, which is so nice to have. Very pleased with that. Also throw in a bunch of these Sims posters up on the wall in assorted colors and swatches. Then in the bathroom, we're going for a very pretty, flowery yellow and blue and pink kind of color scheme. So I pulled out a bunch of stuff for that, including the little shelf thing from high school years in that blue tone. And then I figured the beds could be a little bit mismatched. So this one here, the disheveled one, is from Lovestruck, and that is going to be her roommate's room. He is an artist and he's a little bit messy. He's a bit of a slob, is one of his traits. So I wanted his room to be a little bit more messy than hers and just kind of all over the place, kind of scattered with little clutter all over the floor and books everywhere and painting stuff and smudges. I threw a bunch of clutter up on his dresser. Whereas in her room, she has this lovely bohemian bed from high school years, two mismatched end tables, but they're still very pretty and very on theme for her. So her room does change orientation a little bit as well. It has this dresser from, I believe, Parenthood in this pink swatch. I thought that was nice. And then the mirror from Lovestruck. Back in the living room, I figured this little space over here that I'm cluttering up with more of this artist studio furniture, that could be his big studio stuff that he has that there's really no other space for in the home. So he kind of chose this little corner. There's also a box, and I think that has all of his other art supplies in it that he just hasn't unpacked yet because, like I said, he's a little messy and he just doesn't want to upset his very neat and clean roommate. So he's just keeping everything in that box. But we're just jumping outside. I'm going to finish the rest of the roofing and I'm going to put on a roof trim. I'm going to finish up the ceiling for the rest of this because I do end up adding ceiling paint, but I do it off camera. It matches the floorboards that I use in the rest of the home, except for the bathroom that has some tile ceiling. I think this roof came together pretty easily. I did have to split it up into a couple pieces so that there was nothing clipping through on the inside or on the outside that made it look a little silly, but I think it worked out nicely and I hope that you enjoy it. If you did not see, I put up a poll on my community tab, so if you wanted to vote on which Magnolia Promenade build you'd like to see next, I highly encourage you to head over there. Right now we are tied 50-50 as I just checked a few minutes ago, so I would really love a tiebreaker or 2 or 3. If we could maybe get another couple votes in there, then I'll know exactly which one you would like to see next. Otherwise, if I don't get one within the next day or so, I will pick which one of the 2 I would like to build, and we will go from there. But we are pulling out a bunch of landscaping stuff. So it's mostly base game and a lot of debug, but we have some cacti, some big rocks, some of these lovely flowers in like bunches. I think they look really pretty. They're also in the surrounding world, so I thought they matched really nicely. And I also love these volcano flowers, these bright red flowers. So I used them kind of pieced around all over the lot just because I thought it looked really nice, and also the aloe vera plant and the little agave plant because I thought those were really pretty and they matched the surroundings in the desert. Also some of these big bushes back here, because as you can see, they are just off the lot near all these big rocks before you get to the water. And I thought that that kind of made it blend in a little nicer. And then I also added some tall grass, some like dry tall grass back here. Obviously, I'm placing it now in build mode, but when I went to play with my playtester sims, it was actually winter. So some of these colors don't look as bright and vibrant as they do right here as we're building, but I think that they still look pretty nice. I wish that the plants didn't change too much in Oasis Springs because in my opinion they probably shouldn't. It's desert. I don't think it ever snows in Oasis Springs. There's definitely rain, definitely gets chilly at night, but I don't understand why the plants colors have to change in Oasis Springs. But either way, we're just going to be making this little pathway here a little more defined with some sized down rocks. They're just the regular base game rocks in this more brownish tone to match the rest of the world. Then I decided to move around the mailbox and the trash can just a little bit and kind of fit them in their own little nooks. And I did play test this. My Sims were able to get to the trash can and the mailbox, no problem. I wanted to make sure that the footprint of those was not obstructed so that your Sims wouldn't have a hard time when they went to use those objects. That's always a big pain in the butt and I don't enjoy that, so I didn't want you to have to struggle with it either. Then just finishing up our terrain paint for our path here and then adding some dirt under all of the rest of the plants out here and all of the rocks, and that's pretty much it for the outside. And I don't think I added too many more plants to the build in general. You might see a couple more of those volcano flowers just kind of spread around. I also did put in some large palm trees because I thought that that made a little bit more sense too. Over in this area, there's not a lot of trees unless they're palms. And then some more of these pretty cactuses with the flowers on top and some of the wild grass just in the corners of the build here. And of course, one large cactus in the front as well, because I just thought it needed a little bit more dimension to the landscaping. But I think that's pretty much it. And then we are going to get back inside the building after I add a few more of these windows to the upper roof pieces, just to give a little bit more interest. And then in the roommate's room, I end up putting 2 of these small windows right behind the bed. So I used Tool Mod to adjust them just the way that I wanted them. And they kind of line up just with where his bed is in his room, so you'll see that in a little bit. We're on the front porch now, and we're going to add the front porch lights and also the patio furniture, just one couch and also one armchair. I also put a little end table out here with the one cactus that we got from a base game update, a few years ago now. That cactus actually illuminates at night, so I thought it was a nice touch. In the kitchen, we're just going to hit it with this white herringbone tile from Growing Together, and then the rest of the walls have this lovely greenish blue color to kind of match the shelf just above the window and also the dining table and chairs. which I do end up moving back inside very soon, but I wanted to clutter up this little spot over here a little more. We have a Instant Pot and a coffee pot, and then we have our dishwasher, and I added a range hood in this new swatch that we recently got with an update. And some of these plants up here I'm putting up, we have a base game one, we have the one from Greenhouse Haven, and then I believe I place the little assorted baskets that came with For Rent, and I just use the 9 key to raise them up, and then I use Tool Mod to adjust them slightly because they were either slightly too big or just up a little bit too high, and that I think looks really nice. I didn't want to have to add a curtain to those windows because it's like an inset window. It didn't really work with any of the curtains, so I did add a curtain to the other side window though. There's also a runner right in front of the sink, so your sim will have somewhere to stand while they're doing the dishes. And then I replaced the ceiling light with this one from Cozy Kitsch as well, and then we are adding some clutter. We have the dish rack from For Rent. We also have the curtain from I think that was from Cozy Bistro, and then some little kitchen clutter, some utensils, and the little mortar and pestle, and the spices, and of course our smoke detector because that is necessary. Also put a pizza box in here from Debug and Live Edit just because I thought it was fun. Maybe they ordered some pizza because it was move-in day. And then here we're gonna be changing up the living room orientation and furniture for the Cozy Kitsch furniture. That's another one of the newer kits I recently purchased. And then I decided to kind of move them around until I figured out what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to use that poof somewhere, and I just wanted it to work really bad. So I kind of snuck it over next to the console table, and then I pulled out these Desert Luxe curtains, of course, and I put them all across the window with that little bar, and then added a couple more little clutter items, a little vase, and the video game console, a standing light over here next to the couches, and then I changed the floorboards to be this one from Base Game, and that is the same all throughout. Also a rug from Cozy Kitsch, and then the walls. I believe I chose this salmon color, but I may have changed some of them along the way, like this one behind the TV. That one got the Dream Home Decorator kind of geometric style wallpaper, just as like an accent wall. I thought that looked really nice. And then over here I put this simple desk lamp on top of the little, I don't know what you'd call that, the art center, the art desk that came with the Artist Studio kit, and then some paintings from Cozy Kitsch are also in this room, as well as some drawings and sketches up on the wall from Artist Studio. I thought they were nice to include in there, adds a little bit more personality to the wall. Now, the gamer room is what I was most excited about. So the wallpaper I used is from Paranormal in this lovely pink tone with all of the gold flowers, and then I changed all the wood tones on the rest of the furniture in here to better reflect the window frames and the floorboards, and then I added a bunch more stuff. We have the little poof that looks like macaroon cookies, and we have the hanging cow plant up on the wall. I also put some shelves here where the pegboard is. We have our little boba cup also next to the computer, and then we have our headphones and the pen and pencil cup and this little stack of video games, and I believe I also throw in the candle from the Comfy Gamer kit as well. So you'll see all of the little things are going to come out now. We have the plant, and then I throw a bunch of stuff on to this back QB organizer. I think this is going to be like her backdrop when she streams. Because she is a streamer, she needs to have a nice little space in the back to be, framing her in nicely. Very Lil Simsy, obviously, because this is her kit. It is the one that she collabed with for The Sims. I think it's really cute, and I really think it pairs nicely with high school years and also with growing together. There's just lots of stuff that you can throw in here. So I use this little art box here, for example, and I size it down a little to fit in this cube a little nicer. There's also a little llama I put in and some more books. There's a little sticker printer. There's more of these little boxes from Dream Home Decorator. And then I did want her to have a little light on the back of the desk. So I sized down this one from Moschino Stuff, and then I just rose it up on the desk and positioned it in such a way that it kind of casts a bright light on your streamer's face when they're streaming. So I did go in later when I had my playtester Sims here, and I adjusted the brightness ever so slightly because it was way too bright. But now we're back in the bathroom. You'll see that I picked the same herringbone tile from the kitchen, just in blue for the bathroom, and then the white tile for the floor. Throwing in our favorite bathroom clutter stuff, the soap pump and the toothpaste cup, also a candle, and we have some little organizational drawers and the hand towels and a little rug in front of the sink. I tried to pick really fun colors for this bathroom. I wanted it to be just kind of nice and youthful and fun. Nothing too crazy, nothing too serious. But we have a little towel next to the sink as well. That is my favorite one to use for bathrooms. That one's from Growing Together. And then I did clutter up the little shelf a little bit, but I cut most of that out. It was so much moving around and tool mod. I didn't want you to have to sit through that. We also have some towels on top of this poof, again from Cozy Kitsch Kit. I just changed the swatch. And then I'm adding some blinds, and I also added a little trash can in the bathroom here because I thought that made sense. And then a little rack of towels just above the toilet in this swatch that I never use, and I thought it was a good opportunity because it is a very colorful bathroom, and maybe she thrifted that from somewhere. It does look very old in my opinion. But we have in our roommate's room, the messy roommate. We're going to throw in some stuff on the floor and just make it look super messy. A lot of it is from high school years, and then we have some from the artist studio kit. Also this lovely mirror that's very wacky in my opinion as well. That one is from Moschino Stuff, I believe. And then I just throw it all around on his dresser. I use the move objects cheat to just move everything where I want it to be. There's a dirty coffee mug. There's another dirty pile of clothes here next to the bed. There is a hamper. However, it does not have any dirty clothes in it because they're all over the floor. He has yet to clean them up. I also thought maybe these like painted skateboards maybe were his or like a project of his from university, so I put them in here, as well as a little weight bench and the little dusty plant from the Basement Treasures kit. And then we have some more sketches on the wall. Those are, I believe, base game. And then we have the baseball hat from the Everyday Clutter kit, some books, some magazines, and the new tablet that came with the artist studio kit is also on his bookshelf. And then I took away the ceiling light, and instead he has this lovely painted on kind of dirty looking studio light from Artist Studio Kit. And I think it just lights up that room just enough. Now we're going to be in the gamer girl's room, and she has a very bright and colorful floral theme happening here. So you'll see the bed and the wallpaper kind of match really nicely, which is new for me. I did not notice that until I started on this build. But the wallpaper is from Love Struck, and then the bed is from high school years. Like I said, her end table is very cluttered up with books and a notepad and stuff. Maybe that's where she writes down her ideas if she thinks of something right before bed. And then I decided to throw in some nice plants. We have this beautiful fern here from Crystal Creations, and then the little nasturtium in the dog pot. I think it's from Bloomin' Rooms. And I really like this alien abduction lamp, so I put that on the dresser as well. Replacing the rug though with this one from the Comfy Gamer kit, and I just size it up with tool mod. I just thought it was really pretty in that blue swatch. Here's where I decided I needed to reorient this room a little bit, because I wanted to add this yoga mat, but it didn't really fit the way that I had the room oriented. So I did move everything around. I think it works a lot better this way. And then we also have some posters on the wall. And of course, these Dream Home Decorator pictures, I think they're just super cute and like really cozy. And I think that it just gets that feel of a girl who's more of a homebody, likes to be comfy, likes to do her own thing, likes to keep everything nice and neat. She has some clean folded clothes over here where her laundry basket is. It does get moved very shortly, so don't get used to the orientation, but she has a very neat and clean room. Her laundry is where it's supposed to go, and that is why I was trying to get that point across. But I think that her room came out really nice. I just wanted a little bit more light on this wall, so I threw in some of these star string lights that came with a base game update about, I don't know, 2 years ago or so. They all came out so long ago, but I feel like they're so new to me still. And then these curtains, also from high school years, they kind of match the bohemian feel of the bed, so I threw those in here. And then I figured I'd give him some curtains too. I just gave him some base game ones, and then one more of these lights from the Cozy Kitsch kit, because I really like that. And now you'll see I'm putting some like spoons and plates and a fork here. I was just trying to make a little like dirty cereal bowl situation, so I used tool mod to kind of move these debug and live edit items all around. They won't spoil or anything. I think they're just like decorative from wedding stories when they're like on the tables out in the world, just like decorations, so they won't spoil or anything. But you can get rid of them if you don't like them. I just thought it would be fun to kind of illustrate that he's a little messy. And then we have the little books on top of the chest. I think he really enjoys books. And I also threw in some little organizational boxes and a new pair of sneakers that are still in the box from the Everyday Clutter kit. I think that his room came out very nice. I think it gets right to the point that he's a little bit more of a messy sim, but everything is where it needs to be cozy for him. Now in her room, we're just organizing these pictures a little better. And then I threw in this little organizational caddy that came with Dream Home Decorator. And I don't usually use it in adult Sims rooms. It's usually for kids' rooms in my opinion, but it does have a few swatches that are more oriented towards adult Sims because they don't have like toys or like animal faces on them. So I used that for her camera and her little sticker printer. And now we are back outside. This is the live mode footage. We had a little visitor, Johnny Zest, came to visit while they were having breakfast. So they hung out there for a while. And this was right around the time that the new event started. So this family is who I'm playing that event with. And let me know if you are enjoying it or if you find it silly or whatever you think, because I'd like to know. Also, don't forget about the poll on my community tab. I'd love to know which build you'd like to see next for our Magnolia Promenade renovation. As always, thank you so much for stopping by. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you have not already. I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Bye, guys.